YouTube video about side hustles are all the same. Drop shipping, eBay, service apps like Rover. All these videos have one thing in common. They claim you can make respectable income with these side hustles that require no effort. It's true that these methods have contributed to some people's success. But if you're like me, then these methods got you nowhere. But what if I told you there's a side hustle that brought me steady secondary income for multiple years? A side hustle so great I still do it to this day and don't plan on ever stopping. I am talking about the world of retro game emulation consoles from China. What is a retro game emulation console, you may ask? A retro game emulation console is a device that often looks and feels like a retro Game Boy Color, only instead of taking game cartridges one by one, it comes preloaded with all the retro games from all the retro consoles. The R36 in particular comes loaded with the full Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Super Nintendo, N64, SNES, Sega Genesis libraries of games, as well as some PS1 games and even Aomi PS2 and Nintendo DS games. This console comes with thousands of famous retro games from Super Mario Bros. To Donkey Kong to Pokémon Fire Red. It even has joysticks so you can properly play classic games like Mario Kart on the N64. These consoles are endless hours of fun. This device that cost under $100 just gave you access to $10,000, maybe more, worth the retro games if you were to try and buy physical copies of these games. These Game Boy consoles are great for all ages, from kids to adults with nostalgia. The R36 console in particular can be purchased on AliExpress for about $30 USD or $40 Canadian, including shipping fees. You can then comfortably sell these R36 consoles for $80 no problem. Amazon sells them for $80 as well. Some sites sell them as high as $150, but I think $80 is the perfect amount to charge per unit. So you make about $40 per sale. With Facebook Marketplace, people come to you to pick up a console. So all you have to do is check your phone often and then open your front door and hand the customer his or her console. Super easy. I only ever sold on Facebook Marketplace, so that's what I am gonna be talking about today. However, it is worth mentioning you could scale this idea up by setting up a website or some kind of e-commerce storefront. That being said, I make about $1,000 profit a month selling these consoles. All I use is Facebook Marketplace boosted ads. These things sell fast. Customers love them. I've never gotten negative feedback from AR36 customer. The key to success when selling something is selling a product that's actually worth buying. This is that. I would buy one for $80 if I wasn't the guy selling them. They are worth more than that in value. For every dollar you invest in R36 inventory, you can expect $2 return later. That's pretty darn good. They also make way cheaper Game Boy style consoles that have way less games on them and use a much lower quality screen. The cheap ones can be found for as low as like $6 Canadian each with shipping. You can get $25 Canadian a unit for them easily because they are still a super cool little novelty toy. I would sell both at the same time if you can afford to get both. What to avoid is those game sticks that plug into a TV's HDMI port. Yes, they have the same game library as the R36, but the game sticks come with problems such as low-quality controllers that sometimes don't register inputs when you push buttons, making many games almost unplayable. Also, some games in the library of the game sticks lag so bad they are unplayable. Avoid the HDMI game sticks, you will regret buying them. Your main product should be the R36, and the really cheap other handheld is worth it too for the additional sales. If you plan on doing this side hustle, make sure you stock heavy amounts of inventory for the month of December. These are literally the perfect Christmas gift for anyone. I sold my entire inventory in the first week of December last year, and I regret not having a much larger inventory. Don't expect this to be your full-time job, but this side hustle is far superior to any other side hustle that I can think of. Good luck stacking paper. If I find any more side hustles that actually work, I will make another video covering it. Until then, peace.